Oh, the airs be cold. Of flake and white as a sailor begs their pledge. To the ice they'll pray the leads reveal, out in the ice they'll stake a claim, that in the dark they'll brace themselves. So what, am I create a poem or a letter? I'm not sure what to go for. I guess we'll stake our claim. Of homes they'll dream, to souls around, of glory found. So, oh, the airs be cold of flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. Out in the ice they'll stake a claim and carve a course ahead, of glory found and forged in frost, so that their tale be spread. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need led. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll do what must be done. Indeed, out in the pale beyond. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. I'm sure you'll get very many takers with an ad like that. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. I'd rather coffee, indeed. I'd rather coffee. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. It's insufferable. The constant chime begins to wear out the patience. Stop its infernal ticking, I shall. You attempt to stop the ticking. The needle breaks off. Pocket it. Sure, we'll take it with us. You quickly shove the needle into your pocket. The room is sweltering, the air stiff and stale. Do I have to keep waiting? I guess I have to. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. Where are we? Are we in our own office, or are we our own home or somewhere? Have I just broken somebody's metronome? I guess I'll take a seat. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? Sorry. Answer the question, please. I have enough to get by. Scurvy. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. Are you speaking from experience? How many people have died under your supervision? None. Meaning you're either perfect for the job, a liar, or you've never been in command. Which is it? The latter. Really? Command tests a person's mettle. Do you think you're ready? Is anyone really ready? Some more than others, it would seem. I see you've already made yourself comfortable. I'm Captain Hunt. The pleasure is mine, Robin Shaw. He nods. Wait for him to continue. I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. Keep listening. Months of darkness. Low wages. Slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Do we? I can't remember on the poster. Did it say what we were doing? I guess it's to be expected. I thought it blunt, but it's proven remarkable at weeding out the weak and the pretend. I have a few questions first. He looks down on his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Does this, like, change my stats or something? Mixed would make us more rounded, well-rounded. Are we going to spend much time on the ocean? Because we'd be doing like exploration, polar exploration, surely. But then would that being for the sea is not really going to help you for that? Well, yeah, we'll be saltborne, I guess. The ocean, same as yourself. I'm salt, born and bred. Military experience? Merchant. Sailed the merchant lines for 12 years. Yeah. Very good. What did you trade in? Fruit, mostly? Honest work. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes. Have you ever killed a man? Directly or otherwise? No. You're not married, are you? Of course not. You better not have a death wish. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving in the first place. Any less and you're doing yourself a disservice. Let him continue. We're here to find the ship in that bottle. Oh, we're a rescue mission? Oh, okay. The Viscount. Heard of it? No, enlighten me. Clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. If they found it, I might have heard of them. She never came back. Her last known location was 200 miles south of the land, presumed lost to the ice. 5 years is a bit late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. Alright, you have my attention. Captain smiles. Here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. So it chasing ghosts then. Maybe it's a myth, maybe it isn't. I can assure you the money is real. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will. And well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. And who's financing all this? The usual. Film and lecture rights have been sold. Of course, we're in the process of signing off on the final benefactor for the expedition. They've even donated a ship. We'll be travelling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty. Greenwood. Generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They're sister ships. Built together. Sent out into this world to die alone. Poetic. Indeed. I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So, what do you think? Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. We will. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. So I have the job? What do you think? I'll see you on the Temperance. I have a good feeling about you, Shaw. The feeling is mutual. I broke your metronome earlier because I thought it was my own. I broke your metronome earlier? Oh. Don't worry. This isn't my office. The captain makes his way to the door and you follow. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship, the letters on the side spelling Temperance. Okay, let's approach the Temperance. You walk the cobble... You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Besides is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. That looks very nice. Okay, let's speak to the man. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. Jeez. Saltborn. He's quick to inspect you for ink. Another sailor for the fold? Mid-deck with the others? I'm Robin Shaw. Oh, of course. That would make you the captain's choice for first mate, correct? I am Mr. Templeton. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I am also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up for the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable, at best. No doubt I need to inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabbis spend the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned to the role otherwise. I doubt there'll be much issue. We can only hope. But your role is more strenuous than it would first seem. Let me know when you're ready to depart. I'm certain you're eager to be back on the ocean. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. Well, I think we should look around first. You'll be gone for quite a while. It'll be some time before you see the city again. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. Oh, it's got a steam engine. At least I assume that's a steam engine. Okay, let's set sail. Oh, this is pretty. Nice epic music to go along with it. It's been a month. Wait, oh, it's continuing on with this, okay. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need led. Oh, that's where we got to. Oh yeah, out in the pale beyond. First mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere, before they turn colder. I've never been on a ship like this before. It's a technical marvel. Elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day, reborn for this mission. Breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. The captain seems a trustworthy sort. Oh, is that it? Oh, there we go. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make out the other end of naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigor. I can't shake the feeling that he's not telling the whole truth. I do find myself warming to the man. There are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice, to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. I've sailed with worse. We came across all kinds of trading with merchants, but rarely this split. I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all this. Certainly not the captain. Such exquisite modifications to the ship mustn't have come cheap. Should we find out? Or should we just let it go? I mean, we're here to do a job, right? Does it really matter who we work for? It's none of my business, really, but the question still lingers in my mind. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at the helm. Good, I want to see him. Huh. He leaves. Forecastle. Oh, crow's nest. The crow's nest currently stands unoccupied. The scouting team are expected to join the next port. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like these, I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. Let him continue. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm in the merchant navy? Or were you stuck carrying crates? Here, why didn't you ever try? Okay. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Okay, right, pan around. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Okay, so we go see a certain amount before getting covered with cloud. Okay. Easy. There, you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Peaceful, isn't it? So you zoom out quite far. Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the settings menu. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Yeah, so we zoom out quite far. And then zoom in. How far can we zoom in? Oh, that's cool. If you zoom in too much, it ghosts the sails so you can see through them. It's nice. Okay, let's get his quarters ready. Oh, I love the creaking. Ah, that's nice. A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to be had on the ice. A classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. An ode to an old folk story of the great Captain Seamus? Seamus? Captain Seamus's dance of the Salt Kings. On the desk you make out a variety of papers, notes and maps. As well as a sealed letter with a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tinning Company. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls assigned onto this expedition, ourselves included. There's 16 free to be assigned to tasks, if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You are only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. So we can only use the lit up one, so we can use 4, I guess. Okay. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next port. There's a lot of us... Wait. A lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will tear itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. We're maxed out at the moment. Okay. So we've got to manage crew responsibilities. And we've got to manage morale, basically. And provisions, food. Okay. We have enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. Crew members will start to develop scurvy and be unable to work should you end the week with no food left in the hush pot. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back. You will all freeze to death if you end the week with no fuel in the furnace. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Now on to work. So this kind of reminds me of Frostpunk. Corvid and Cordell. Okay, Corvid. Sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. Captain studies them further. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside the crate? I did, sir. Ha! How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true, I could pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jibboom from your bowsprit? I do. I learned it all from my dad. Your dad? His ward's son. Followed on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, sure. Hunt eyes you up. You're first mate. What should we do with him? Well, I'd keep it on board for the simple fact that Ward will have low morale if you throw his child into the ocean or whatever you're gonna do with him. I guess we'd drop him at the port, but then he'd be stranded, so I'd keep him aboard. I'd keep them aboard. Hunt squints. He's clearly here because of his father is. It would be wrong to separate them again. Alright boy, consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will, thank you, sir. Captain, not sir. Aye, Captain. The stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, it seems the leader is a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. What of the father? Simple, split their pay and their rations. Any rations the boy takes should come from his. Yes, that works. Maybe we'll make a sailor of him by the end of this. Well, that matter's sorted. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Sure, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with the kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island. But you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the packs to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel, it's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. And what exactly are these demands? She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition as a member of the crew. None on this ship have the experience and familiarity of these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them to have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, sure. We've just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see the harm in having an expert on sled dogs. A good point, sure. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Fine. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I'll have a room prepared for you below deck. Crew is now 25. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, sure. 14 dogs available. Finish requests. But yeah, there's no point taking on the dogs if they're just going to end up being useless. Now that all that's settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. You can't mistake them for another. An urgent matter? Not at all. Nothing you should concern yourself with. They'll be down in the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Oh wow, it's already getting icy. Who is this? Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasia Belford, balanced on the ship's mast with her camera, lining up a photo. Wait for her to finish. Snapping a shot, she clambers down, only noticing you on her landing. Oh, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of the ship. Kasia Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasia. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there. Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot you just cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasia Belford won the prize, the highest honour in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone with her accolades to be older, more experienced. It is likely her first time on the sea like this. Yeah, her accomplishments surely outweigh her youth. But her accolades speak for themselves. The cold game. Picture that as a header. For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like a work of an amateur. The cold... Was it the cold game? Doesn't sound too good to me. Doesn't even make sense. This isn't a game cacher. An expedition like this isn't light business. Kasha nods eagerly, but you can tell she's not really listening. Oh right, of course. It is thrilling though, isn't it? I suppose in your experience the open ocean is the home of the mundane. I suppose you've never travelled this far south in the merchant lanes. I'm not adverse to thrills. Well, I hope we have some coming this way. I'm hoping to capture something right out of Kurt Darling's old escapades. That reminds me, he'll be joining us in the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Catcher holds up a camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, sure. How long did they take to develop? Only a day or two. I made a makeshift darkroom in the hold. Speaking of photographs, she hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. So we've got Timmy, Runt Ward, Killer Smurf Sanders, our Sailor Stowaway Solburn, Sailor and Ice Savvy, Amelia Corvid Sparrow, Sailor and Ice Savvy, Joseph Joe Gren, Sailor, Ice Savvy. What are all these other things? Sailors, scouts, engineers, scientists, specialists. Rufus Hunt, the captain. Richard Templeton, the the science officer. Photographer. Me. Oh no, someone's ruined my photo. Resource cards. Key items. Accordion. Grimley's accordion, a weathered instrument tuned with care, and Cash's camera. Integral to her report and crew manifest. Oh, how do I get rid of this? It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port, and the captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. I'll see what I can do. I'll not disturb you or your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers. Anyhow. Safe shots, officer. Don't worry. You leave her to her work. Okay, let's check out the two Johns. He spotted a large man with a youthful gait, carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. He gives a bright, warming smile. As I die. Oh, 2 Johns is 1 person. 2 Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. 2 Johns attempts to offer a handshake, but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Ah, maybe later. Work awaits. Ah, the accordion. Oh, this moves really crazy fast. Nothing doing here. Let's descend further. Ah, there's the accordion man. One of the crew, a red-headed man with a thick beard, sits proud, playing an ivory accordion. He spots you and ceases in his playing. Need something? I was just looking for the Stoke brothers. Emergency? Just a meeting with Hunt. You're speaking to one of them. Grimly Stoke. We'll head up after dinner. You can go now. The man gestures to the cook across the room before resuming his playing. Ah, those 2 are the brothers, okay. Yeah, that's some food. The crew have their meal. It passes in relative silence. What are they eating? I want to know what they're eating. Come on. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. Is there a way to turn down how fast this scrolls like this? Panning speed. Let's put that down to 1, probably. Yeah, one feels a lot more controllable. That was on 3, and it goes even further than that. That's crazy. Over dinner, you overhear the newly picked up stowaway speaking with a one-armed man. But, you're lucky Hun didn't throw you overboard. I have a mind to do that myself. Come on, Da. I'm here to help. Better know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. Oh, wait. I got confused who was speaking. I won't. You're an impossible child, Timmy. Yes, we need to speak to the crew. You spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around mid-deck, searching through luggage that has been pulled from a cabin. Let me look in the light. Where was it now? He notices you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct? Dwight Glossley. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while settling in the cabin. A bottle of wine, actually. You best not be drinking on the job. Of course not. I have to keep the senses sharp in this work. My wife and I brought a bottle to celebrate with. To be saved for the journey back. Of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. So looking out for a bottle of wine. Wouldn't be down here, would it? There's a way to go down, but we can't go down there yet. Oh, my cabin? It's not bad. Ah, Templeton. You spot Templeton looking out into the sunset. As you approach, he turns to you and nods. Ah, Officer Shaw. It'll be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the southern pole is quite the change. I noticed you weren't at dinner with the others. I prefer to eat in solitude. I have my own cabin, and I make use of it. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. There is a great expectation upon us, officer. From who? Who is this benefactor of ours? That is not for you to know. Not yet. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection in the ocean surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite the sight. But I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It's important the first officer be well rested. Press E to advance to the next week. But no, I want to look around. There's wine to be found. Oh well. No choice this time, I think. Oh, you have to hold it. Wish I could, like, not do that, but I guess I have no choice. Food rations. The food rations per crew member this week. Normal, 2 per person. Full rations. The fuel rations, not full. Fuel rations. The fuel spent of the week, normal. Half of it's gonna go away. We only have what? So we're almost like halfway through our... We only have a month's amount of rations? That seems crazy. I can do half. None? You can do no rations? That seems crazy. Double rations! Give them all the food! No, normal seems fine. Double the fuel spent. Is that just for heating? Yeah, we'll go with normal. The ship makes its last port at Whale Tail Island. Cordell's sledding dogs are picked up. The scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. The days are getting brighter as you move further south. It's -4 now. Two weeks on the Temperance. There's a rap on the cabin door. Who goes there? The door swings open to reveal Kurt Darling, all but filling its frame, grinning ear to ear. There you are, Officer Shaw. The ship's navigator is a difficult man to miss. Stature and reputation precede him. Adorned with a slew of apparatus, The seemingly one-man expedition would be known to anyone following the heyday of exploration and the merchandising that followed. It's an honor, really. A wealth of invaluable experience in such hostile environments. A wonder he's not been swept up to some other post. Hiding away from the rest of us, are you? Are you always this early to rise? These days I tend to enjoy a good lie-in, but not during an expedition. You know what they say of early birds and worms? Apologies for not stopping by sooner. Sure. It took a while to set up my team, and a great deal of the crew were quite eager to meet me. It's not often they work with a film star, is it? Certainly. It's completely understandable on their part. There are many who haven't seen my films, particularly in this line of work. More than one fellow on this crew said my work inspired them to explore the world. Quite the honor, is it not? I'm certain you receive that praise often. Not as often as you would think. I suppose I did get distracted, didn't I? Anyway, I was hoping you'd join me up on deck. Of course, but why? We finally entered the pack. I thought you'd want to see it for yourself. I'll right behind you, Kurt. I think I should be... I'll be right behind you, Kurt. Kurt turns to walk away before turning back. Oh, and enjoy your morning. It's a good day, sure. He leaves. Who is this? Oh, Miss Gloss. You know one of the science team returning to their room. Ah, Mrs. Gloss. Did you have a good rest? She nods to you. Ah, hello. I did not expect many to be up this early. Harriet Glossley. I believe I've met your husband. Ah, yes. Dwight made mention of your encounter. He's still fast asleep. He's adjusted to the ship well. I believe a walk around the ship would climate would help acclimate myself to the waves? I guess, yeah. Perhaps it'll take some more time. With that, Miss Gloss makes her way back to the cabin. So is her name Gloss of Glossley? The science team aren't used to the sea, or the sailor folk. Quite the culture clash, isn't it? Well, I'm sure they'll grow used to them over time. Doctor's office? The door to the doctor's office remains locked. Seems a good doctor isn't in. Or perhaps enjoying his sleep. You are yet to come across the ship's doctor, even after all this time. Strange. Saved game to tree. Maybe I'd increase the zoom. Save tree system. Yeah, that feels a bit better. It's weird, it feels like panning and zoom need to be swapped around. At the stern you notice an older sailor at the helm. The old man takes in a deep breath in the cold air before letting out a satisfied exhale. Morning. And a good morning to you. He eyes you up. Officer Shaw, right? Lefty. Call me that on account of, well, should be obvious. He chuckles. Don't worry about the bad sight. This is all feel. Just keeping her steady. He examines you. Surprised Hunt picked from outside for his first mate. I assure you I'm more than qualified for the role. Oh, I don't doubt that. You must be something special for Hunt to look outside the ranks. You've got the experience at least. Merchant Navy's quieter though. Mornings like these are about the only peace I get from the younger lot. You should take these moments when you can. After he returns his attention to the helm. As you get older, I suppose you learn the value of quiet moments, eh? Let us hope we're just as diligent when we're old and grey. Myself before you, of course. You join Kurt at the bow of the ship. You both feel the temperance break the floes before you. Gripping the railing, he draws an enormous breath. The footing beneath rises as the ship mounts an impending ice floe. There is a moment's hesitation before a profound crack relieves the ship, cascading across the ice. He exhales. See? Nothing else like it. You weren't wrong. It's something, alright. Look at the ice. No two cracks are the same. All caused by us. By the laws of nature, this place wants us dead. And yet, here we are. Traversing in harmony. How fantastic is that? How far are we from land? We are about a week's sail from the last known location of the old Viscount. Assuming she isn't exactly where they left her, we can't take smooth sailing for granted. Same goes for this daylight. It won't remain this bright for so long once winter encroaches. Beautiful as the ice is, on this course it's going to get thicker. It looks out across the white. We won't be so confident when the leads dry up and we're stuck here till the next cycle. We need to change course. Avoid the pack. It's not my decision. Yes, but you have the captain's ear. He won't listen to me. Thinks I've been dulled by retirement. I've probably seen more ice than he has whiskey. Have you ever experienced a long night winter? It's not pleasant, to say the least. Can't say that I have. We're only as good as the unhappiest man, Robin. I'll do what I can. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Kurt nods and turns back to look across the ice. Ah, sure. Ready for another day of work? Did you hear Kurt's advice? He wants us to switch course. I had a few words to share. He may have been an expert in his time, but these days Kurt is one with more money than sense. Anyway, back to work. I was hoping you'd help me work for a few more requests from the crew. You may have noticed the line pulling up outside. Everyone wants something, it seems. Call them in as you please. Let's bring in Kasha. Captain Shaw. Oh, Captain, sure. I thought occurred to me the other day while looking through the crew manifest and... Well, it might be too late for this now, that we've already entered the ice. Out with it! I thought it'd be good to have individual photos of the full crew. For your report? Not only my report, it'd be a good reference for the manifest. Put faces to the names. Much of this crew have served me for years, some decades. I have little problem putting faces to the names. Your thoughts, sure? Yeah, why not? Seems like a good idea. If nothing else, it would make for a good souvenir. Sentimental of this expedition, are you? Some proper photographs will have some historical weight to it. Well, Belford, I see no problem there. I'll arrange for the pictures to be taken before the crew have their dinner. Thank you, Captain. Sure. In the meantime, I'll attempt to get as many individual crew photos as I can. You're still welcome to help on the matter, Officer Shaw. She departs, satisfied. A short, sour-faced man in engineering clothing approaches. Are you acting daft, Hunt? Not with intention. Not bloody surprised you didn't notice. Sure, this is our chief engineer, Clive Hammond. An opinionated one. What is it, Hammond? We've hit the ice, and you haven't assigned any extra men down in the boiler. You have your engineering team. We've only got 6 arms between us. I need more manpower maintaining this. Sailors. Many of the crew have their own tasks they're busy with. I know I've already assigned Smurf on the matter. The captain turns to you. How many do you think is fair? 1? 3? More. Open the crew manifest to choose how many sailors you wish to assign. Yeah, we'll have him go down there. Well, he's an amputee, so he's not going to be much use, as they will do shoveling or something. Yeah, he's quite tough. We'll send, should we send 2 Johns down there as well? Just those 2. You could take 2 Johns and Runt. You're giving me the bloody stowaway? Would you rather none? The engineer holds his tongue. Fine. But you can tell me how right I was when we're buried under the ice. He leaves. A good spirit, that one, beneath the oil in the temper. You won't be seeing much of him, though. Prefers to burrow himself into the boiler room. Corvid enters the office. Hunt, you asked for a report on how the stowaway was doing. Aye, I wanted to see if the young boy has been settling in well. He has indeed. It means another mouth to feed, but the boy works hard and doesn't ask much. He has his dad to guide him as well. I'm sure the boy's father is ecstatic. Worried sick, but happy, aye. Well, what do you know, sure. Perhaps you were right to keep the boy aboard. She leaves. Good to have all that settled then. Perhaps we shouldn't rule out old Kurt so easily. If the man thinks that there could be an alternate path through the ice, he's free to search for it. Sure, meet with him when you have time. Changing course or not, we'll want one of his scouts set up on the crow's nest. Take care of that, and you'll be done for the day. You spot a youthful-looking man leaning over the side of the ship, his head slumped as he looks into the icy pool below. It appears he's been visited by a spot of seasickness. You make your way to the man and reach out your arm and pat the sickly fellow on the back. As soon as your hand reaches him, he jolts upright in shock. A bespectacled young man, shaking with unease. He stares at you for a brief moment, a look of shame plastered upon his face. So sorry. Are you alright? Yes. Well, no, not really. I'm very sorry. The man turns around and hurriedly runs in the opposite direction, avoiding your gaze. Send me up there, I'll give you a reading. The scientist eyes the man's cane and turns to you. I believe the navigator means you to send one of his scouts. The navigator clears his throat and taps his cane. Of course. If you find one of mine, you'll get us a reading rightly. Oh, they'll get us a reading rightly. Oh, I've not found any of his. Okay. You overhear two of the newly arrived scouting crew talking. Ah, Quilsy. Have any trouble settling in? No, not too bad. I can't wait for a chance to sleep though. Proper navigator never rests until their work is done. Of course, of course. I take it you had no issues settling in? Not at all. The crew are a funny lot. Old Kurt certainly caught their attention. Huh. Do you think any of them would mistake Kurt and myself? I think they'd clap some joy if they did. Huh. Perhaps. Okay, let's send up Yurik. Wait, which one? I think it was Yurik that was the one that settled in. They ascend to the nest and they ascend to the nest and take a reading with the sextant. A glorious sight, if I say so myself. Oh wow, okay. So that's where we are. Walker Island. The last port you made where you picked up Kurt and the scouting team from. Viscount Island. The last known location of Viscount... Oh, of the Viscount, your destination. Are we heading this way? Which way are we heading? So it's north. So if we're heading... No, we're heading this way. Judging by the compass. What would be a better way to get there? I guess going around? Dodging the giant blocks of ice, maybe? Rather than trying to go through that path? Not sure. I guess maybe we just have to wait for them to find a path. While examining the rigging of the ship, your eyes notice a figure darting by, climbing on the ropes with ease. The figure lands on their feet before dusting themselves off. Their outfit denotes one of Kurt's scouting crew. Ah, no problems. She looks to you. And you are? Officer Shaw, yourself? Flick, I'm one of Kurt's crew. Don't worry about my safety. I know what I'm doing, trust me. Kurt doesn't just hire anyone. Well, he didn't hire me for no reason. Got the medals in gymnastics, if you're worried about my credentials. Flick jumps up and returns to scathing the rigging of the ship. Oh yeah, we should have food. Ah, you must be sure. Seems you've met my brother already. You're in Stoke, but nobody calls me that. On this ship I'm known as Junior. You seem more personable than your brother. I definitely met Grimly. He's not a bad sort, my brother. Just to the point. He decides if he likes you right away. Hey, sure, can you grab some tins from the pantry? It's nearly time for dinner. The moment you enter the pantry, a bag of flour drops on your head, scattering all over your officer's uniform. Huh. The hells was that? Gnomes? You wipe the flour off of you before continuing. You life a crate of tins from the shelves. Lift. I'm pretty sure it should be the lift. What would be today, Shaw? Feed the hoosh pot. Oh, we can do cooking! Nice. Tinned food, sealed sustenance, prepared by the Appleton? Oh, prepared by the Appleton Tinning Company. What is it though? +5 on fuel. +20 on supplies. -5 on that, so they don't like this. Okay. People are not a fan. +20 food. The crew have their meal. Ice? I can't read it because the thing's in the way. They need to sort that out. Aye! The days get longer, but dinner? Dinner is fixed. It'll see us through the long days and the darkest nights. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice that it's still bright. That it's still bright light outside. Oh, look at the dogs. Well, you'd certainly come in here for morale, wouldn't you? The dogs regard her with rapt attention as she paces between them, bowl in hand. The largest joins her side as you approach. Try some. Sure, why not? You nearly burn your mouth on the hot broth. It's surprisingly palatable. You feel yourself warming up. You seem to enjoy it. I'm afraid there is only so much. If you want more, it'll be among the dog's leftovers. Penguin. Some blubber. Fats and proteins. Fastest way to hydrate them. Was there something you needed? Just inspecting the animals. They belong here more than we do. Unlike us, they need the ice. It cools them through their pores as they run. They'd overheat otherwise. Strong creatures. Very. They handle stress differently. Adapt quickly. There's plenty to be learned from them. You love these animals. They need me. And you'll need them. You pet the dog, you ruffle its head, it tries to lick the broth from your fingers. Oh. Normal supply. Another week passes. The temperance has finally entered the thick ice. The thick ice leads. The days grow ever brighter. We're getting a bit low on the old food though. Probably should have brought more rations. I mean, what were they thinking? Oh well, now it's getting thick, wow. I mean, what a nightmarish place to be, but damn, this must be so beautiful. So we're just going straight through it. So I think we've got another couple of weeks to even get there. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. Better wait for him. The whole room shudders. Oh no. What in the... Well, I was worried about this. Look at that ice! We could be trapped for a while. Strong pressures. As if we didn't have enough bother. Well, no need mucking around. Let's get to work. Where's Hunt? I'll grab him. I'm sure he felt it too. Sure, check the boiler room. I'm sure the Mormon has problems of his own. Not to worry, everyone. We'll be free and moving again before we know it. Back to work. grimly. Coal bunker? Okay, what's going on in the coal bunker? Take coal. You lift a sack of briquettes. So coal powered, okay. Thought so. If I'd made errors any, I'd tell you. It's secure, don't you worry. They notice you. I'm sure you're aware of the situation. What's happening? I'm ensuring that the boiler was not damaged in the sudden commotion. I told you that if it was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if the furnace goes, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only one man, with just a pair of engineers as assistants. Just looking at the number of valves, this seems far too much for you to handle. Maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that. I've gotten used to it by now. It will hold, trust me. I will. Well, I'll have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying on this ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative we break free from the ice as quick as possible. Hammond eyes you in a grimace on his face. First mate's here, but where's the one who got us into this bloody mess? He's a difficult one to find. Indeed he is. I have a suspicion as where he may be now. We're on a ship, an unmoving one at that. The man cannot simply disappear. If he's anywhere, it must be his cabin. When you find the man, give him an earful on my behalf. Can't do it myself, too busy keeping us alive. Templeton gives a nod. I believe you and I both owe our good captain a visit, Shaw. Not before we've fed this furnace. Mind grabbing some coal from the bunker, Shaw? Or are you afraid of dirtying your hands like Mr. Templeton over here? Coal goes in. We stay alive. Really simple, is that? Oh, really is that simple? Maybe grab more then. Oh, I can't. You emerge mid-deck to find the crew readying themselves for dinner. Need to find the captain. Well, he's 100% not there. The crew have their meal. The dinner is shared. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice that it's still bright light outside. Huh. I was informed that he was here. Where could he have hidden himself? He has to be in here. Check under his desk. I highly doubt he's cowering beneath the table, sure. Oh! The captain's laugh rings out from behind the door. The captain watches you both, his head swaying as he chuckles to himself. You are a surprisingly difficult man to get a hold of, Hunt. Seeing that this is your ship. I know well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. How long have you been drinking? I don't suppose you care to join. Hunt shakes the whiskey bottle as he holds it out, the liquid sloshing and spilling from the top. And what of you, Shaw? I can't tempt you with some sweet nectar? I don't drink. And you don't care to humour me as once? Ah well, your loss. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this. This ship, your ship, is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect me to do? Get the shovels out? You could have heeded Kurt's warning. Ha, Kurt. You still hanging on his word? You have some luck relying on that old lout. He's a man chasing a spotlight, nothing more. There's no safe passage here. This was always going to happen. Mr. Hunt. Captain. If you're not fit to stand, then you should retire for the night. Sure, will stand in your stead, but can continue in the morning. And abandon my duty? No captain who would do that is a fit captain, wouldn't you agree? Well, not you, sure. Isn't that right? What do you think makes for a good leader? Sobriety for a start. He sips at his drink. But I'm serious, sure. To you, what makes a good leader? We'd have time for. In a word, then. What makes a leader? Tricky. Understanding, I would say. Understanding? Explain. The ability to adapt to your crew to understand the individual needs that make up the whole. And if those needs conflict? It's all well and good to think you can bend and twist and please everyone. Do you think you could balance that? Scorn a man one day, then appease him the next? Do you think that balances out? Or is he more likely to remember? Speaking in platitudes will do you no good. A good leader is something more than a single rule you are told to follow. When you see one, you just know. You've wasted enough time pining philosophical. Oh, my apologies. I'll ask the real questions. Sure, look at where we are. Do you honestly think we're going to survive this? I don't know. I expected as much. The captain laughs. Sure. Nobody knows we're out here. It doesn't leave this room. No. We don't want to upset your employer. Our benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough! If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be... None of us should be here. Oh, Kurt paid handsomely to join, and you're just a botanist sent to keep an eye on me. Our doctor... And then there's me. What are we actually searching for? Hunt chuckles, gesticulating his hands mockingly. Ghosts. Templeton opens the door. The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's of sound mind. Let him speak, Templeton. I wish to know more. It's alright, Robin. Go on now, Shaw. I'll be alright here. You awake to a room awash with green. There's a loud banging on your door, and a familiar voice speaks from behind the wood. Sure, are you in there? Sure. Hammond, what's going on? Why is everything green? Never mind the green. The boiler's in serious trouble. Pumps need manned and we need to stop the whole system overheating. I don't need to tell you if the furnace goes up. Lead the way then, we do have a moment to spare. Right, let's move. We need to find the captain now. The lights of the aurora flicker over the pale ice. And I think we shall leave it there. And continue when the final game, well, the full game comes out. This has been The Pale Beyond. And thank you for watching. If you're interested, go add it to your wish list because it's not out yet. And I don't think it has a release date. But I thoroughly enjoyed the game so far. And I'm intrigued to see where this goes.